so much. We're so excited to get to see you again very soon. We look forward to that day and pray that it's soon. We pray that you're all healthy and washing your hands a whole lot. So today we are going to do something a little bit different. We're going to do a Bible challenge. And I hope you saw a moment ago, I know, we're going to tell you what it is. I hope you saw a moment ago to grab some paper and some markers or crayons or colored pencils. So you're going to need those for this challenge. And if you didn't, you can pause the video real quick and go grab those things. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to tell you a story out of the Bible. And I want you to color a picture or draw a picture of a particular character or a moment or something that stands out to you. And at the end, I'm going to tell you what you can do with that. So our story today comes out of an Old Testament book of 1 Samuel. It's an awesome Old Testament book. And our story is going to begin with a beautiful woman named Hannah. Hannah wanted a son. She was desperate for a son. And she prayed before the Lord for years and years and years. She didn't want it like going through the grocery store. I want this piece of candy and maybe I can get it next time. No, her heart was broken and hurt because she wanted a son so badly and it just had not happened. And she prays before the Lord and she says, if you will remember me, then I will give this child back to you. And it wasn't that God had actually forgotten. She was praying that God would act and be the promise keeper. And she prays over this, and he does, and he gives her a son, and she names him Samuel. And I bet I can see in your eyes, you're like, I've heard that name before. And Samuel's name means, for this child I've prayed, for the Lord has answered my prayer. So Samuel, she keeps her promise, and she takes Samuel to a man named Eli. And Eli is helping Samuel to grow in God's word and grow in who God is, and he's learning to serve in the temple. So Samuel is at the temple, and they go to bed one night, and he hears this voice cry to him, says, Samuel! And Samuel jumps up, and he runs to Eli, and he says, Master, what do you need? I'm here. And Eli's like, I didn't call you. Go back to bed. So Samuel's surely scratching his head because he definitely knew that he had heard something. So he gets up again. He hears it again. He says, Samuel! So he gets up again and he runs to Eli and he says, I'm here. What do you need? And Eli says, I did not call you. Go lay down. Go back to sleep. So a third time Samuel lays on his mat and he hears it again. Samuel! And Samuel jumps up and he runs to Eli, and Eli sitting there looking at him going, I did not call you. And then Eli realizes that it was not, the voice was God. It was not him. He knew it wasn't him, but it was God. So he says to Samuel, if the voice calls again, sit up and say, I'm here, Master. Your servant is listening. So the next time it happens, he hears it. Samuel! Samuel sits up. He says, I'm here, Master. Your servant is listening. And God goes on to speak a word to Samuel about what's going to happen in Israel. Some of it is scary and some of it is incredible. But God spoke to Samuel, and Samuel learned how to hear God's voice. He learned how to hear what God was saying to him and who God was. He didn't just know that God was king. He knew God's voice in his heart. Samuel goes on to become a great judge of Israel, and he even gets to anoint David to be the king of Israel. Samuel is a godly, righteous man, and he learned how to hear God's voice at a very young age. So that's where I'm going to stop our story. If you want to hear more of it, go into 1 Samuel and read it with Mom and Dad. It's an incredible book of the Bible. So Levi, can you hold up your picture for us really quick? Turn it around. Oh, so you caught the candy part. What else did you catch? Tell me a little bit about it real quick.
So God made her a baby, and she sees him laying down. Mm-hmm. She's crying that she has a baby.
She's happy?
Yes.
Yeah.
She didn't
It wasn't
want
the candy thing.
She didn't want any candy. God says, Samuel. He goes up here, and he said, no. Comes up, no. Comes up, no. Then he realized it was God.
Great
Samuel.
job. Great job. So you can take your picture, and if you want to, you can tag Clearview Church in it if your parents are willing to post it, or just keep it and look at it and keep it for a very long time because you're going to look back on it. the reason that I wanted you to do this is because this is our favorite way for our family to do family devotionals, is we'll read a story out of the Bible and everybody will draw something that stands out to them or something that the Lord reveals to us, and it looks a little bit different for every person. And it's so cool to see the different things that God shows consistently to Levi or to Asher, to Pastor Donovan or myself. God is so good, and he wants to speak with you, and he has things that he wants to share with you, and they are amazing if we quiet ourselves and still our mind enough to learn how to hear his voice. We are praying for you. We love and miss you, and we are so excited to get to see you again really soon. Bye.